Welcome back everybody, and now I am going to create an application which is going to show actually the most important math operations that we're going to learn, or we actually learned already, but we're just going to apply it here in this application. And what we're going to do is that we're going to create an application which include only one button. Once pressing on this button, we're going to get all the math operations that we already learned. So in this case, what we need here is that we need a lot of labels, and we need two text boxes. So that's the first text box over here and the second text box over here. So we're gonna insert two numbers. The first number is gonna be in the first text box, and the second number is going to be in the second text box. So make sure that the design name of the first box, it's gonna be called number 1 box, and the second one is gonna be called number 2 box. I'm just changing the design name in order to remember which one is the first and which one is the second. And then I'm gonna add a button, and this button actually is going to be called calculate, and I'm gonna make sure that the font is gonna be big enough for you in order to read what I'm trying to type here. So I'm gonna put two labels over here. The first label is gonna be called here first number, and the second one's gonna be called second number, and both I'm gonna also make them look a bit bigger because I know that it is somehow hard for you to see through Udemy videos. And yeah, so this is the calculate button. So we have the first number, we have the second number. Once we press calculate, now I'm just gonna copy paste these labels here, and I'm gonna change the name only. So now you're gonna see what I'm going to do. So now I'm gonna change the name. So this one, first label is gonna show us the plus operation. The second was gonna show us the minus, then multiplying, then dividing numbers, then mod, and then powering. So basically here we are going to see the results by, I'm just gonna mark all of these. As you can see, I am marking all of these, copy paste, Control C, Control V. So those first labels over here are going to be fixed. They're not going to change. They're just going to show us what is what they are representing. Those labels are going to change actually, and they're going to give us the result. So I'm going to change each one design name. So plus, I'm going to call it plus. Plus. I'm changing the design name now. Minus, I'm going to call it minus. Multiplying, I'm gonna call it multi. Dividing, gonna call it divide. Div. Yeah, come on, div. And then mode's gonna call. I cannot call it mode actually, so I'm gonna call mod. And the last one I'm gonna call it power. Now what I'm going to do is that once I press calculate, all of these are going to change, but those are fixed, are not gonna change. So I make sure that all of these here have no text at all. How can I do that? I can simply click on each one of these and delete the text. So I'm just gonna make it visible actually. As you can see, it's visible, but there is no text inside the label. And now you're gonna understand why I'm doing that. Once I move to the programming page, you will understand why I'm doing this. So basically what I did, the labels are still here, still valid. We still can see the labels, but they have no text inside. Okay? Why am I doing that? Let's go to the programming page by double clicking on the calculate button. What I'm going to do here is that I'm going to dim A as decimal, let's say, and dim B as decimal also. You can dim it as a double, doesn't matter, it's totally up to you. And A is going to be equal the value of the number 1 text box dot text, and b is going to be equal to number 2 box dot text, and make sure that you select value. So that's mean in our boxes we are going to choose the value. So the first text box, A is going to represent it, and the second value of the second text box, B is going to represent it. Now remember that we changed the design name of those labels. So what are we going to do here is that we're going to dot text, which is the plus label, equal A plus B. Okay, so that's mean if I run my application now and I press calculate, I'm gonna get the plus number over here. So if I put 1, 2, this should be 3, and there you go, it is 3. So do you understand now why I left the labels empty with no text? Because I want it to be visible, but in the same time I don't want it to include anything. And what I'm doing here inside the code page, I am telling the computer that please plus label, the label which is called the plus, which is the first one, please show me the text of this label to be the answer of A plus B. Now what I'm going to do also is the same with using the minus label. Minus label text is going to be A minus B, and then we have, what was the last? Then multi.text equal A multiplied by B, and then what do we have? We have division, so div.text equal A divided on B, and then we have mod, so mod.text equal A mod B. What else we have? Power in, so power.text equal A power B. So that's mean when I press on the calculate button, each one of these labels are going to change to the results. So let's try by a real example here. So I'm gonna put, for example, 10 and 2 and press calculate. So the plus is going, so let's start step by step. When I pressed calculate, the computer or the program is reading step by step from here. So it says that the label plus, which is this one, dot text, that's mean please transfer the text of the plus label to A plus B. A plus B is 12, so they put 12. Please transfer the text of the minus label to that answer. So A minus B is 8, and they transferred 8 to the text of this label. And also for the multiplying 20, division 5, mode nothing, because when you divide 10 over 2, the answer is 0 and there's no remaining. So 0 remaining. The power is going to be 10 power 2 is going to be 100, and that's it. So basically this is what our application is going to be like. This is like an example for you about how to use the math operations and how you can control the label, so you can show you can see the results as a label. But remember, our labels are visible, are still visible. Okay, we just remove the text only. Just remove the text only. If you did not understand anything, just let me know and I'll try to explain to you one more time, or maybe record a video or something. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the following video.